A look at our schools at 5 o'clock. With colleges set to return to class as soon as next week, thousands of students are moving back to the area. ABC 6 News reporter Josh Kerman takes a look at the rush of students and how it impacts another area of our community, housing.
There are more than a dozen universities here in the Ocean State, with thousands of students spread across them. And every year when they come back, they need somewhere to stay. They've got a range of options: students living in dorms, commuting from home, or living in an off-campus apartment. When it comes to the latter, it can be a great benefit for local economies, but also a burden on already struggling housing markets.
We've just simply been underproducing housing units, and particularly rental units, for a number of years in Rhode Island. So our last kind of building peak was in the mid-1980s. The solution is to build more, maybe more dormitory space in communities where it makes sense, but also you're looking for different options where we can repurpose and reuse buildings to create housing not only for the students, but also for the workers.
And walking that line can be a difficult but important task for developers and property managers to consider as they help house these students.
I do agree that it's an issue where, people are buying, normal, residential homes and converting them to student. That's something that, we've seen it everywhere. It creates friction and also creates a shortage and pushes some of the families out.
One of the main issues in addressing this is how unique it can be for every community. In communities around URI, they've opted to tackle it through ordinances, limiting how many students can be in a home together, while other communities enact specific zoning laws to disincentivize student housing over more permanent options.
I think where we've seen things work really well is student housing zones, where there's specific zones around the university where they say, look, around, within X radius or this neighborhood or that neighborhood is where students live, and they have a certain code for that, where you can have, a certain level of unrelated parties, and then you separate that from the residential neighborhoods.
Whatever approach a community takes, both Brooks and Clement agree the students and the institutions they attend are massive parts of the community and critical to their function. And according to them both, the only overarching answer is to build more housing. In Providence, Josh Kerman,